All right, happy opening night, everybody. Heat Bulls tonight. Are you excited? I am excited. Wes Goldberg here from Locked On Heat. We will have a recap of tonight's game from FTX Arena later on tonight, so make sure you are subscribed on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. But we want to start today with a little bit of news, okay? And it's not great news. Victor Oladipo out with a left knee injury. They're calling it left knee tendinosis. All right. So the good news right off the bat, it's not the right knee. The right knee is where Oladipo had all the surgeries and all of those things. It was what he had to bounce back from last season. It's not the right knee. It is the left knee. Spoelstra says that is normal. He's sort of downplaying it, saying it's not a huge concern, that the team's medical staff isn't overly concerned, and that this is sort of a natural thing, given that when you injure one knee and have to repair it surgically, as Victor did with that right knee, that it's natural to have to overcompensate and maybe put a little bit more stress on the other side, the left knee in this case, and then that's how you get something like this to develop. Here's the bad news. Victor Oladipo already ruled out tonight, Wednesday night, against the Bulls for the opener, probably going to miss more time, is my guess. Here's the definition. This is according to the Miami Herald. According to Baptist Health, tendinosis is a chronic condition characterized by the degeneration of collagen in the tendons. Tendinosis symptoms might feel like pain or stiffness when you try to move or touch the affected area. So chronic condition doesn't sound great. That's kind of scary language there. You don't want to hear that. But again, the Heat sort of downplaying this. There's still reasons to be optimistic and not totally fearful. Spoelstra, after practice, saying that Oladipo basically day to day, right? Ruled out for tonight, but basically day to day. And he said officially that's probably what it's going to be. So day to day is much better than out for the season. It's much better than reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks. We'll see if any of that kind of stuff comes of this. This is all relatively new, but for now, we got to talk about who's going to take over the second unit, because that was presumably Victor Oladipo's job, right? We're going into opening night. The starting lineup is going to be Kyle Lowry, Tyler Herro, Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, and Bam Adebayo. Victor Oladipo is supposed to fill in that six-man role. Who does it now, right? Who is the sixth man of this team now? Well, let me throw a curveball at you. Maybe it's still Tyler Herro. Obviously, Tyler's going to start, but this is not a team that generally likes to play full bench mob units, right? Spoelstra's not going to go, all right, 5 starters out, 5 backups in. Let's do it that way. With Vic, there was a chance that maybe you do that a little bit more. But if you've got all those guys in that starting lineup, you could go ahead and stagger them as the game goes on. So if Tyler Herro plays, for example, the beginning of the second quarter, and maybe that's when you give guys like Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler a rest, then that allows Tyler Herro to run an offense with guys like Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, whoever else is coming off the bench. That puts him in that position. So it could still be Tyler Herro. It could still very much be Tyler Herro. The other option I would throw at you is Max Strus. Max Strus telling reporters that he thinks that there's an opportunity for him, even though he has to adjust from leaving the starting unit to going back to a bench role, that could provide more opportunity for him to be a little bit more aggressive as a scorer, to call his own number a little bit more. We've already seen Max Strus in preseason and in some film from his work over the summer that he's working on his ball handling. He's working on his driving skills, his playmaking, his passing. If all of that stuff has gotten better, if he's been able to improve in those areas, maybe Max Strus could be the sixth man, right? He's a feared shooter from beyond the arc. We've seen his ability to drive and get to the basket. If he can get other guys involved and improve that dribble so that when he is sort of the focal point of that offense, that he's not getting trapped, that he's not getting the ball taken away from him, when dribbling into traffic and things like that, then yeah, maybe Max Strus is an option there. Look, all in all, going back to Victor Oladipo now, this is a setback. And it's a real bummer for those of us who wanted to see Victor Oladipo get on the court and just wanted him overall to just finally be healthy. It's definitely a bummer in that regard. But look, this isn't the same as last year. When he was having that second surgery procedure, was only able to play, 8 regular season games, wasn't able to really carve out a role or find his place on the team. He's gone through his first full training camp with the Miami Heat since getting here, right? That's already done. He went through preseason. We saw in the preseason that he did have that more defined role that he's been craving, right? He was the leader of that second unit offense. He had the ball in his hands. He was able to drive, kick, play make for others, and get his own shot when he wanted it. So minor setback, not a major setback, at least for now with the information that we have tonight. Heat versus Bulls. Like I said earlier, we will have a recap of that game up on YouTube and on your podcast feeds shortly after the game with me and my co-host David Ramil. And by the way, if you haven't checked in on all the season preview stuff that we have up, we've got the roadmap to the NBA Finals that the Heat need to follow. We've got 20 bold predictions, and then this morning, Wednesday morning, we put up our most excited for draft, where David and I go back and forth and just draft the things that we are most excited about for this Miami Heat season. All stuff that you're not going to want to miss, and you're going to want to lock it in here to Locked On Heat. Thanks for listening.